Well, hi friends. Happy Thursday. I am actually doing Tune In Thursday a little bit differently today. I am in a training right now, and I didn't actually expect that I would be able to be live, but I'm on a break and I wanted to just show up for you guys. And a little bit of has happened in the last week. Life has changed quite drastically. It took 2 years nearly, but I contracted COVID last week. And you can still hear some of the congestion. I'm wearing a hat to keep my head warm while I'm in this training. And I'm just gonna share. I thought about like, what do I really want to deliver in my message this week when it comes to self love, self care, and self healing? So I wanted to share me with you. And what does that mean? I wanted to reconnect with you and just share why I'm doing what I'm doing, how I got here, and just let you know how much that you all drive me to keep doing what I'm doing. So I'm Denise Michelle. You guys know that. I'm a self-love expert. I have studied hypnotherapy. I've studied all kinds of things in the healing arts. I am a mega nerd. I love to study. I study almost every day. Personal development has been a practice of mine for almost actually over 20 years at this point. And how did it all begin? It began with my healing process and being diagnosed with something called borderline personality disorder, and how that made an impact in my life, and making a realization through the power of yoga that I wanted to help other people too. Eventually, I became a yoga teacher and opened up a yoga studio in downtown Los Angeles and created a beautiful community. And that was the stepping stone for leading me up into being a coach and a mentor and a healer and a guide. So it's really been awesome to be on this journey. And I've been looking back because we're in January of 2022, and this is my fourth year of in my coaching business. And I have to say that I am more in love with what I get to do in the world than I have ever been in love with anything that I've ever done in my life. This gift that I get to bring people, and you guys are always seeing me post stuff on whatever it is, self-love, self-care, and self-healing, right? Whatever it is in those categories, I am just spewing it out all the time. And why do I do that? Because it's literally on my mind every day, all day. It's what I geek out on. It's, I believe the greatest solutions in the world are created through love. And the only way that we can really truly get there is if we go within and we start learning how to heal ourselves. This is why I do what I do. I've learned to heal myself. I continue to heal myself no matter what I go through. And at the same time, I'm here to help lead other people so we can keep expanding this love in the world. Because especially now, the world is so divisive, and we don't need to be in that place, in my perspective. We need to start doing the hard work inside and start seeing who we really are authentically, so we can design a life that we create for ourselves and share it with other people. Because as human beings, we are on this planet to create relationships with people, not to create more division, not to create more trauma, not to create more fighting. We are here to unite. Boom. Right? This is why I do what I do. And, it took a long time for me to get really, really clear on the kind of people that I serve, the kind of people that I help. And over the years, and as time would go on, and I would discover what, if I'm really looking at the niche that I'm in, I help entrepreneurs live authentically, live confidently, and live unapologetically while increasing love and joy in the world. That is my mission. That is my mission. And I really feel like that's going to be my mission until the end of time. Why? Because there is no pinnacle to love. There is no pinnacle to self-awareness. There is no pinnacle to inner healing and inner work. So we can keep sharing more of ourselves with other people. And guess what? We get to create such a beautiful life by getting to know ourselves. And this right here is the journey that I have taken, and it with all the people that I've served and, helped over the years, with all my networks, all my communities. And as you know, I'm well networked. I have amazing communities out there that I've connected with. And everybody is here to help everybody. And we want to help each other, right? But we have to come home here. We have to learn how to look in the mirror and be unapologetic for who we are. We have to learn to stop people pleasing. We have to learn to get out of these things like imposter syndrome and not enoughness and issues with our self-worth. We have to learn who we truly are so we can be what we are meant to be on this planet. I continue to do that. And as I continue to strive, not just obviously, I created a business out of doing something that I'm incredibly passionate about. And I absolutely love this. This is really the joy in my heart every day is, thinking about what do I want to bring value to in people's lives today. And I think about that every day, every morning that I wake up. I think about how I can keep creating value in people's lives. And if we learn to start having that kind of a trajectory instead of saying it's all about me, right? And you look at it and say it's about we can make a real impact in the world, an imprint on this planet. Because who do you really want to be when you leave this world, right? We've been seeing a lot of death. And I know for myself, I have really sat with death because it's been very clear in my life, very apparent in my life over the last year, especially having lost my mom. I've been looking at life very differently. What is the kind of legacy you want to leave on this planet? I want you to sit with that this week and just think about, what is it that you want to leave? Who is it you want to be? And what are the first steps to becoming who you are? Well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what a really great step is. So I'm holding a workshop next week called The Power of Authentic Vision. And this workshop is broken down into actually giving you tools, tangible tools that you can take to get really, really clear on your vision and your authentic self so you can start taking the steps forward. It will give you keys so you can actually start to build that confidence in yourself to not just see yourself clearly, but to give yourself the thing that you may have been looking for. Or maybe it's the thing that you're not quite sure of, right? Because you maybe are longing, feeling some longing or some disconnection in some part of your life, but you can't quite pinpoint it. I'm here to help give you clarity on how to do that. And I'm going to be doing a mini hypnosis with you guys to show you how powerful our subconscious actually is when it comes down to the grand scheme of things. Our subconscious, kind of think about our subconscious as an iceberg, right? Everything above the water is our consciousness. That's what we think we're operating from, because that's what we can see. But everything that we are doing, thinking, being, saying, that's all happening underneath the surface. That big block of ice that's underneath, that's where we're operating from. That is our subconscious. It is so freaking powerful. And that part of ourselves starts to develop at a very, very young age. From 0 to 7, that part of our mind, we are starting to create our belief system. And guess what? A lot of the time, as adults, we are still operating from that belief system from our young inner child. This is why we call it the inner child. But we've just never learned how to break those patterns. So I'm going to be teaching a little bit more about that. But I wanted to just say thank you to you all for all your loving messages this last week while I've been recovering from COVID. And please think about what it is that you want to bring into this world this year, this lifetime, right? What is your legacy? How do you want to make an imprint on this planet? All right, my loves, I will see you next week. I will have a new topic up in the poll for next week, and I will see you soon.